It has been so crazy this year. I like don't even know where to start. But first, we're gonna start with some coffee. I've been on like this iced coffee kick. Super good. Where do I begin? I first just wanna like, let me take off my glasses. I first want to just sit down and tell you guys like what's been going on and just kind of tell you guys what's on my mind, because I know my YouTube channel is growing and I just want to be real and raw with you guys. And so here it goes. But I didn't want to make this video about like complaining or all the crappy things that are going on. Like, I really also want to like show you guys the positive side of like everything and just how I've been able to like overcome these challenges that we have faced as a family. And so let's dive in. But first, okay, now we can. So some of you guys know that January, Clayton hit his head and had to get like 5 stitches. Chris had metal in his eye, had to get metal drilled out of his eye. And then the kids were pretty much sick throughout January and the beginning of February. So because the kids had like this pretty nasty cold, Olivia ended up developing a ear infection. So we got her on antibiotics. Her ear was great, doing fine, but in the midst of her being on the antibiotics, Clayton happened to get into one of my medications and took one, which is a very high dose. So we immediately called poison control and they told us to go to the hospital. So we took him to the ER. He was taken there, but as soon as we got into the ER, he was just immediately like very drowsy. Like, I could not keep him awake, and that was one thing that they told us was like, make sure you keep him awake, don't let him fall asleep. And it was just by far one of the scariest moments of my life. Like, and I tried everything that I could to keep him awake. He just wasn't coherent. He couldn't walk. I was trying to get him to walk so he would stay awake, and he just wouldn't. Like, he just kept dozing off. And finally, they got an IV in him, and, you know, he was doing okay, but he was just still really not coherent. So we finally got the thumbs up on him being able to fall asleep because he was being monitored. So he was able to, you know, take a little nap. The doctor came in and pretty much said that this could go 2 ways. One way, he sleeps it off, wakes up, and he's completely fine. The other direction it can go is, you know, he ends up having a hard time breathing. He stops breathing. He has, you know, I forgot what they called it, but pretty much like it could mess with his heart, like, you know. And so they wanted to take, obviously, the more safe route to be, you know, be safer than sorry, and just keep him monitored for the next 24 hours. So insanely, the hospital that we are at in our, you know, town doesn't have like the close monitoring equipment to keep an eye on a child's heart, but they have it for adults. So I was just like, okay, so that is why we had to get airlifted to Portland, because they had the proper equipment for his heart to be monitored, you know, for the amount of time that it needed to be. So thankfully, thank God, my sister was able to get a plane ticket as soon as we found out that he was getting airlifted, because Chris was going to have to be the one to fly with him. And so thankfully I was able to get a plane ticket shortly after they left to Portland as well. And thankfully my brother, which if you're watching this, Jared, I seriously love you and thank you so much, he ended up picking me up from the airport and took me to the hospital. And so we got to the hospital. He was much more coherent. He was definitely cranky just because he had been strapped down, you know, in a bed all day, and, you know, with all the craziness. And so, but luckily, as soon as we got to the hospital, I was able to hold him, and it was just really, really hard seeing him that way. But luckily, you know, Chris and I stayed the night at the hospital, and he didn't sleep the greatest, but he definitely, you know, slept somewhat, and they kept him on good, you know, monitoring, checked his vitals like every 2 to 3 hours, and just kept him on a close monitor. And he was okay throughout the night. And then he woke up the next morning. He was fine. He was much more coherent. He was laughing. He was eating. He was walking on his own. And even at one point, I'll put a picture right here, he was eating pancakes, apples. He was drinking his water, watching cars. Like, he was really, really in a much more normal, back to himself mood, really happy. And so thankfully, we got discharged later that afternoon. And so it was just a very well lesson learned, you know, that I need to make sure that I have my medications locked up. And so Chris ended up making me a lock box, and they also provided me like a medical lock bag. So I have my medications in that, and then on top of that, Chris created this lock box for me that has, like, you know, a padlock on it and everything with a key, so that way he can't get in it. So luckily we fixed that real quick, but it was just really, really scary. But thankfully he, you know, came out of it just fine. He's okay. He's been doing great. That happened like, I think like a week and a half ago, and he's been doing awesome. So that happened on like a Monday, Tuesday. So then Saturday, Olivia got off her antibiotics on Friday, and then Saturday, Olivia woke up with hives from like head to toe, super inflamed. It was like, oh my gosh, I literally just wanted to cry because I felt like so bad that these poor kids haven't been able to catch a break. And so basically, you know, we ended up finding out, took her to the doctor, and she just had a late allergic reaction to the antibiotics that she was on. So luckily the inflammation was only like really, really bad for about like 2 days. And then, you know, these last 2 days, it's like pretty much cleared up, and she's, you know, back to normal, feeling good and able to run around. And so as you can see, like, it's just been kind of crazy. It's just been like a one thing after another. It's been like a really crazy storm. When it rains, it pours. And so basically when Olivia woke up with hives, like, I was just feeling so defeated and frustrated. And, you know, I just was putting myself down as a mom and as a parent. And I was venting to my friend Sonia, which, Sonia, if you're watching this, I freaking love you, girl. I was talking to her and just kind of venting, and she sent me this message that just totally changed my perspective on this. And so that's why I'm making this video, not to just sit here and tell you guys, you know, obviously I want to keep you guys updated and, you know, be real and raw with you guys, but I also want to show you guys the positive side of things and how you can really turn things around and grow from it. And so what she said to me was, you know, sometimes we go through the really, really darkest moments of our lives, and we have this really, really dark, crazy storm, like with thunder, lightning, and just all this really, really bad storm, right? But that happens because the next day, or when the storm's over, you have the sun shining as bright as it can. The sun shines brighter. When the worse the storm, the sun is brighter. And so I just loved how she put that in perspective for me, because it really turned myself around, turned my mindset around, and just had, like, she just really reminded me, like, you know what, we can grow, like, we are growing from this, like, this is all about lesson learning and just knowing that we can get through this as a family. And it's just made us stronger, and it's being, you know, life just comes up with these crazy things, and it happens, and we're able to, you know, to get through it. And so it just really helped me grow in that positive perspective instead of just constantly manifesting all these negative things that were happening. And so, and I know like my last 2 vlogs I was kind of off, and so I just wanted to like be real with you guys and show you guys like, you know, I was just sitting there manifesting and all of that negative things that were happening, but it literally got me nowhere. And so I'm just so happy that, you know, I have all this love and support from all of our friends and family, and, you know, my incredible husband, that, you know, they've really just helped me see the positive side in, you know, all of this crap that we've been going through, and that it's gonna be okay. You know, we're all alive, we're all healthy and well, you know, we're all completely blessed. And so I just wanted to kind of give this video like a message for you guys. Like, maybe you feel like you're going through just a ton of crap and you feel like you just keep hitting a brick wall and it just keeps getting up, and, you know, you keep hitting it over and over and over. It's okay. You're gonna get through it, and you're stronger than what you think. And, you know, reach out to your loved ones so they can show you that that strength is still within you and that you have your strength. Because my mindset was just a few days ago on thinking like, this has been the worst year ever, like this has been a crappy way to start my year, I'm so pissed, like all this crap keeps happening, like what's next? And when I was in that headspace, it wasn't getting me anywhere. It was affecting myself. It was affecting, you know, the way I was acting towards my loved ones. It was affecting the way my thought process was on everything and the way I viewed things. And so it's just crazy when you really take a step back and realize when you're constantly focusing on those negative things, that's all that's going to happen to you. And that's all you're going to manifest. But when you turn it around and realize like, you know, hey, crappy things happen, but that's okay, because that's life, and you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna grow through it, and, you know, your life is precious and every moment is precious. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. That was kind of all over the place, but I just really wanted to sit down and just share with you guys that I know, like, you know, maybe you're going through something, or maybe your loved one is going through something. Just know that, just be there for them. And or, you know, find your support system who can be there for you, and just know that you're gonna be okay. So I'm gonna end the video here, and I love you guys so much, and I appreciated so much support that I've been getting with this platform, and just seeing it grow has just been incredible. And so I just want to take a moment to thank you guys for also being my support system, and, you know, keeping my head up and keeping that positivity going, because it's definitely just motivated me so much with this channel and getting more creative and getting more videos out for you guys. It's been really amazing for me, and I hope it's been really great for you guys too. And I can't wait to see us grow more and just become this amazing family community. I love you guys. With that being said, I'm gonna end the video here, and I love you guys. I feel like I keep saying that, but I do, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.